on a higher level and you're on a managerial level, that means like executive level. So you don't time keep, but you also like I could start working at 9 and no one's gonna say a thing instead of starting working at 8. But if they need me to stay until 10 or if they need me to work on Saturdays for some reason, I have to do it. I can't say no. But hopefully we'll get to that. Hopefully we'll get to that.
Phoenix, you look perfect. You mean? Also, holy shit! I'm gonna try and change server region because you guys are
really
so
bad.
fucking crunchy on my screen.
Oh,
It's
they're both fine except for Phoenix. Phoenix is super crunchy to me.
No, they're all
Mine
crunchy
is
for me.
my ping is horrible. I'm not gonna cam face today. I don't feel like it. I can't face the whole day at work.
How do I do this?
Besides, I don't plan on doing much because today is the Savi and Varen's downtime most of the time, so I'm just gonna listen.
Get ready to not talk all session, bitches.
Yeah, and
Okay, first of
I
all,
don't have to look. I don't have you. I don't have to have you look at my face to see if I'm talking. So that's fine.
I'm kidding.
I don't.
But yeah, my ping is super high, Tim. It's like 359 milliseconds.
I don't remember how
and
to
it's not my
fucking
internet.
change the server
Yeah.
region.
Y'all sound like robots to me.
There, little one.
Domo arigato.
Exactly.
How do I fucking do this?
You go to
I don't know.
server settings
Yeah, it's not there for me.
and then server region.
You need a pillow to sit on. Let's get you.
It's not there. I don't see it.
It's up top right under the name.
No,
What?
I don't have it.
Who made the
Chief.
server?
Me.
He did, but I have admin privileges and I also don't see it.
And I cannot hear half the
Your
things
Discord,
you
what
guys
the
say.
fuck?
Hang on.
Yeah, my ping is super high too. Imagine for you in Australia, because the further you are.
No, it's
Yeah.
high. It's high for me also.
I feel like that shouldn't
Weird.
Yeah,
matter.
but it's worse for someone like in Australia. Trust me.
We have
Yeah.
2 cyclones colliding
It's
over
not
here.
radio.
Oh, cool. Amazing.
I think I figured it out.
You know,
Now the camera's popping.
not in that one, and just be in this
It
one.
looks a lot better for me. What about you, Rick? You sound does
You see Phoenix's full beautiful face now.
It's themed better now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do I sound robot-y?
No,
Mm.
you
No.
sound like you sound
all
like
right,
you.
cool. We've been live for a second. Sorry, I had to get that figured out.
Are we on the internet?
Unfortunately, sorry about that, guys.
Wow, unfortunately, that's how he loves us, guys.
I do not
What?
see you, internet. Lies and slander.
Oh yeah, we're live. We're live, pal.
Hello, internet.
Oh, there you are.
I was gonna ping Discord.
And I'm gonna label Phoenix Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause like
he
I
can come down my
went.
chimney.
Oh my fucking god.
Jesus, I was gonna say something, but after that, I'm not gonna break the magic, so never mind.
The best part of that was just Lane. I'm putting... The best part of that was Lane.
They
Oh,
couldn't
no.
handle that. Wow. She's allowed to do her RP session. You're killing her.
I know. I've accidentally murdered her. Oops.
You killed Savi before you.
But
killed her
after that, I
sister.
gave you your 5 seconds of
Mhm,
glory.
mhm.
But no, it's because I went to watch the stream where Jack made Orion, and I discovered that he had gifted me a subscription to Jack. I'm like, wow. And he gifted me a subscription to you as well, because I'm poor. I'm poor. Not I'm poor. I'm like a piece of shit, and I don't spend money.
I think in the last 2 weeks I've gifted over 200 subs to different
Yeah,
people.
Phoenix is a fucking psycho.
Actually mad.
Like I said, Santa Claus. That's what I'm gonna call him now.
Anyways. Yes.
Yes, we have to.
Yes.
We have to wait for Lane to be
Lane
not dead.
to-
Oh,
she's
right.
the one that's starting.
I
So.
forgot.
So it
Give
be
her a
like
few
that.
minutes.
You broke Lane.
I'm fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh,
That's what Wild said
Hazel, your
for,
hair's so
Lady
cute.
Di.
Little ponytail.
Look at that.
Thank you.
All right.
My wonderful head.
All right. I don't want you guys to feel left out. I guess I'll fucking cam face too. God damn it.
Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Even though I've already
Let
cam
me
faced
see
for
that
3
butt.
hours today.
And I loved every second of it.
Anyways, not Lane's not dead anymore. Let's go ahead and get started,
Oh,
shall we?
I'm definitely dead.
No. No die, only live. So,
Be the heartburn.
not a lot of recap to do. As last session, we started the downtime, which I had every intention of doing in a single session, but it didn't turn out that way. We saw Orion go home to his father's orphanage in Shady Creek Run. We saw him... I'm getting reverb off somebody. Who is that? Oh, okay. That's done now. Never mind. We met some of his family. We met his father. We met some of his siblings, I suppose we could call them. And we saw that, hey, an adventurer can have a positive home that they come from. So that was nice. No way. We saw Nissa also go home. Tried to do a little bit of research, did some legend lore, and was given the most cryptic fucking shit that has ever been given.
I hate gods.
It'd be like that. She also encountered her parents and revealed to them that she was their son, just in a different form. And it went over about as well as expected. However, she also saw that the king had charged the Altier family with high treason, and their home was stormed. However, both Swan and Fedwin Altier were nowhere in sight when this happened.
Fuckers.
Fuckers indeed. We saw Alistair go home as well, with Dameron in tow, and we met his mom and his grandmother, two witches, in their small little farm outside of Trostenwald. Had a bit of conversation, did some crafting, asked his grandma for a favor, and she said, nah, and it'd be like that. And that was pretty much all you guys did, I think, right?
We also went to Raftengard.
That's right!
Oh, yeah!
You also went to Raftengard and met up with Tempest for the first time since, like, session 6. And learned that while she kept the portal in her deceased sister's basement secret, she has also cordoned it off and keeps it under constant watch, not wanting to mess with it. She appreciated Dameron coming back where the party had began and checking in. And finally, at the end of last session, Asavi and Nizo had made their way from Amon to Whitestone to reconnect with their sister Vastra, their younger sister. It's gonna be interesting. So, that is the point that we are going to pick up at. Do a not so subtle music change.
Since you brought it up, I just have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding our little trip to Raftengard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man,
Would it be possible, upon reflection, to roll a hindsight insight check?
Interactive insight.
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
Had to ask.
That would have been, yeah. Definitely appreciate you asking now, but yeah, definitely would have been something you did last session.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, upon arriving in Whitestone, Asavi and Nizo find themselves moving through a rather fine city. The streets appear to have been freshly paved with fresh stone. The energy, the atmosphere of most of the individuals that you see moving around is positive. There's just this positive energy in the air. Unlike many of the places that you have encountered in Wildemount, people just seem happy. Some of them you see wear these kind of cloth masks covering much of their face. Even the guards with their helmets appear to have masks on them. And you remember when you first learned about the illness in the Menagerie Coast, it had apparently originated in tal'dorei. And it seems to still be affecting people. Making your way further into the city of Whitestone, you find yourself within the Dawnfather Square. In the center of it sits a massive, beautiful tree brimming with life. You see a large central structure, adorned atop a tall clock tower. Throughout this square, you see a number of tents and carts where merchants sell their wares, and a number of pale-colored armored individuals patrol quietly, occasionally stopping at a stall or two or having a conversation pleasantly with the individuals on the street. Amongst a number of these armor-clad people of varying races are other guards. A number of automaton guards. Tall, lithe, metal men that silently patrol, ever clinking around. Small spouts of steam occasionally pouring out of a few nooks and crannies on their form. Eventually, asking around, you learn about Vastra's cottage on the grounds of Whitestone Castle, and you make your way there. Walking towards it, you see the door is open. A small spout of smoke rises up from the chimney, and two half-elven twin children, giggling, rush out, arms filled with sweets and bread, and probably a bit of candy. Stepping up to the door, you see a woman easily in her late 80s. Hair long and well brushed, skin wrinkled, incredibly so around the eyes and mouth. You see she has a kind face and expressive eyes, always greeting those she sees with a warm smile. She looks like she has probably smiled a lot in her life, and she smiles now, as she sees you approach. The memory of her sibling still fresh in her mind, all these decades later. Salvi, what would you like to do?
Asabi's gonna stop for a minute and kind of just stare at her because it's so strange to see an old woman, but it's still Vastra.
It's so strange to see an old woman.
It's like the last time I saw you, you were like 25. Like, what the fuck? And she's gonna like shake her head and then just burst into a run and just hug her.
Alright, as you rush up and hug her, you wrap your arms around her, and she wraps her arms around you, and you can already feel a slight vibrating in her chest as these happy sobs have begun. You feel a bit of warmth on your cheek as her head is just laid against yours. Surprisingly, a few inches taller than you, Asabi. But lithe. You feel there's some strength in her body, even at her age, but not as much as probably in her youth. And she just hugs you tightly for a moment, as you both feel another set of arms, very strong, kind of wrap around the both of you. And you hear this faint sniffling of Nizo as he is hugging you both.
So glad I found you. I didn't think I would. I didn't. I'm only sorry I didn't look sooner. She kind of pulls away just to look at her.
Yeah, she pulls away and begins to wipe her tears away. It's so nice to see you as well, Savi. Niso, my siblings. You haven't aged at all.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry for what?
It's my fault we got pulled away. I didn't. I mean, I'll explain everything. I'm just. Oh. The siege was going on, and I hadn't seen any of you in days, and
Oh, come inside. Come inside.
Go inside.
She takes your hand and leads you in. And entering it is a well-decorated but quaint cottage. You see a somewhat brick-covered hearth near the far back wall. Several windows, some open. You can see the curtains faintly blowing as fresh air is being kind of filtered into the space. You can smell currently the smell of what's seems like freshly baking cookies or have already been baked. You can see there's a single hallway that leads past the hearth deeper into the cottage, and several bits of well-worn furniture within the space. Like it's seen a lot of use, a lot of conversation. Probably seen a lot in all these decades. And she just sits down in a wooden rocking chair next to the hearth and just smiles brightly. It's so good to see both of you.
It's a beautiful home.
I did what I could.
I'm sorry. I stranded you. Both of you. She looks at me, so.
You shouldn't be sorry, Asavi. I've had such a wonderful life. Far more wonderful than I ever could have hoped. And if that was your doing, then allow me to ask you to stop saying sorry and let me thank you.
You know I'm not good at that.
Well, a fucking few dogs just begin barking like crazy outside the house. Well, then you're just going to have to accept it. As your older, younger sister, I demand it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
I can't believe you raised children. That's... Like animals, yes, but children.
Well...
I remember changing your diapers.
A lot has changed.
Where did you travel to? How long have you been here?
50, 60 years. It's hard to remember. It's been so long. Honestly, I consider this more my my place than the before.
Savi's gonna look at Nizo at that, and what is his kind of reaction to that?
He definitely, like, as you look at him, definitely seems like he's biting his tongue out of respect and to not sour anything. But I appeared in the Parchwood Timberlands to the south. I was taken in by wardens there. And I put my skills to use for a number of years, and then I met Frederick Dorolo, the patriarch of this place. And at first I was just a hunter for them, but given my, I suppose, kind demeanor, they asked me if I could help a little more intimately with their family. They wanted the children to be protected, but also taken care of, and I could do both. So I did.
It was obvious from the way that Kynan and Percival spoke of you that you were much loved here.
Percival told me you met him. That
He's quite a character.
brash fool. And
I liked Kynan.
Kynan's a good boy. A bit troubled. He's always reminded me of you. A lot better than he gives himself credit for.
And you said you heard of Castor?
She stands up and moves towards the shelf above the hearth and pulls out this really well-worn book. Looks like it has been read at least several hundred, if not 1,000 times. You see the cover of it, although worn, just reads, "The Legends and Myths of the Heroes of tal'dorei."
Wow.
I read about him in this. It was a book that the children had. They were learning about the history of this continent. And I stumbled upon the Dragon's Roar, the time-lost hero, the rebuking warrior, Castor Chorus, the one who slayed the demon prince of indulgence.
Those are some titles. Goodness.
Would you like me to read you my favorite passage?
Very much.
She begins to flip through the book, and you see she's done this so many times. She immediately turns to the correct page without even a marker, and she begins to read. The valiant hero stands defiantly as man and demon clash all around. His eyes flash with a brilliant white light momentarily before a sword made of pure light coalesces in his hand. He grins faintly as he lifts the blade, the tip pointing towards the 15-tall 15-foot tall demon prince before him. In the name of these soldiers, this rebellion, and every soul on this mortal plane, I rebuke you. By the might and power of my bloodline, of the warriors of Curus, in their memory, I rebuke you. And with a blasting thunderclap, he pushed off the earth and leapt into the air like a dragon taking flight, letting out a bellowing battle cry that some would swear could rival that of Bahamut himself. He plunged that sword of light into the demon prince's body, and in a flash of clashing black and light energy, the valley was scarred irrevocably. No one knows what happened to the time-lost hero after that, but the continent, which would later become known as tal'dorei, would forever speak about him in stories and songs. Whatever happened to Caster Chorus, the Dragon's Roar, the time-lost hero, the rebuking warrior, we cannot say. He shall remain an enigma for all of time.
Wow.
Sounds like father, doesn't he?
It does. I'm sorry we didn't get to meet him.
I am too.
I saw Mother. Not. Not like here, like we're here. But. Made safe, for a time preserved. Used as an avatar, a voice for my goddess to speak to me. I haven't tried, Father, yet.
No.
I've been too nervous to.
What are the odds that at least 3 of us could be here? Perhaps a 4th also. It's worth trying, at the very least.
Now,
Don't have to. It's okay.
I can. Might as well. I should have said it before. We had so much time on the road. Oh,
What have you been doing? And you, brother, what have you been up to?
well. She kind of like looks at me, so like, you go first.
He looks at you with the same look.
She touches her nose.
Hmm.
You first.
Still playing those games, alright.
Old habits.
What I've been doing, Vastra, is simple. I've been looking for a way to get us home. Make sure none of this ever happened in the first place. I've had a few leads. Might have even been close to a breakthrough. But someone wanted to join a rebellion.
You were working with people who were doing terrible things. That's not.
And if I can go back, those people won't even have existed yet.
Yes. Needs artists. We were brought here for a reason.
No, we weren't.
She told me. Ayun told me. I spoke to her. There is a threat. Not to be all doom and gloom, but it's bigger than anything on this plane.
And that is the problem for these people to figure out. Not for us. We don't belong here. Vastra, I'm gonna find a way to fix this. I'm gonna get us home. You see Vastra kind of go quiet and lean back in her rocking chair, folding her hands together and resting them in her lap. That is a valiant thing, Izo. It is. But I am home. This is where I belong. Whether that is divine intervention or fate, whatever you want to call it. I love my family, and I missed you all. This is my place. This is where I belong. Izo just kind of leans back in his chair and goes quiet.
Maybe you could come with me. She looks at him. I'm meeting back up with my friends at the end of the month.
I don't have interest in playing hero or warrior or whatever you're doing, Asavi.
I don't think that's what we're doing. We got wrapped up in that, and it was. The cause was right. But that was so much more than we bargained for. It. You've seen the Empire. You've seen the way it fails. Those people deserve to have people who would fight for them.
And they do. Don't you think we owe it to our family, our parents, Castor, to try?
Try to what?
To fix this? Vastra doesn't want to go back. That's her decision. I'm going to fix it. That's mine. We don't belong here.
What if we do? What if I do?
Then stay.
There, there are plenty of places in this world. What enemy are you going back to fight? The betrayer gods are gone. They don't touch this plane anymore. Not in the way they did when we were born. There are plenty of enemies to fight here if you're going back there just to fight. And if I wouldn't be there, and Vastra wouldn't be there, and Mother wouldn't be there, there's not a day that goes by that I don't regret what I've done. I've pulled you out of time and lives and battlegrounds and left you stranded. And I'm sorry for this, Vestra, but I am so sorry. And I'm sorry for the years before that, too. The years I couldn't bear to look at you all.
I don't want to sour our reunion with Vastra with this nonsense. Let's just drop it.
Right. Alright.
Well, I have some cookies that are in the oven if you would like some.
That sounds wonderful.
That sounds great, sister. Thank you. Good. If we're not all smiles by the time I get back in here, I'm getting a switch. And she stands up and makes her way into the kitchen. Niso looks over at you.
Did she just...
Not our little sister anymore, I suppose. We can talk about this more later, Asabi. I'd very much like to know why you're so against going home.
Alright.
You hear a few bits of clinking around in the kitchen before a small platter of fresh baked sugar cookies are presented before you.
Those smell amazing.
Not much of a cook, but I like sweets, so I learned how to bake.
Maybe it's good Caster's not here. He'd eat all of these in a second.
You would.
To find crumbs everywhere.
So a rebellion, Asavi?
I don't know how much you know about the Empire and Wildemount.
Not a lot. Their government is insular.
makes sense.
But I've encountered people from there. Dark people. And if you're fighting those people, then good.
When I first came to this time, oh gosh, a year and a few months, I got a job in a tailor shop.
Hmm.
And one day, there was an attack on the village. And I could help. So I did. And I met a few others who helped too. That was our first run-in with the Freeden. And we ran into them again. And that was after I learned a little bit more about the Empire and the ways they control their people. It's a lot of make nice over a lot of things, but they'll tell you which gods you can't worship. And according to my friend Rin, who you can't marry, and
What do you mean? Can't marry.
um,
They stop people from getting married there?
yes. She had a wife. And it was not an easy thing, I don't think. I don't know a lot of the details, but
Sounds like an awful place. Where love can't flourish.
yeah. And a lot of, I think a lot of control over the lesser folk by those in power. And we kept running into these revolutionaries who, well, their aims were good, had ugly tactics. And my friend, Whoosh.
That's a funny
the Kenku.
name.
He's a strange character. A Kenku. So really it's not Whoosh, it's Whoosh.
Its
The way he says it,
name is the wind blowing.
basically.
I'd very much like to meet this Kinko. He sounds fun.
He left our little group and he joined them. And
Though you didn't see eye to eye with their tactics.
he thought he could change them. For the better. At least I thought that's what he thought. And over the next few months, while we traveled, it sounded like that's what he did. They were gathering forces, but they weren't striking innocents just to provoke outrage. They were harvesting and gathering those who had been hurt by the Empire in order to make a stand.
They were building a rebellion on hope, not on slaughter.
Exactly. And we heard that they were gathering in the north, in Baraka, and that they were going to try and liberate a place where agents of the Empire were doing horrible experiments on people for selfish gain.
And it's also where I worked. Vastra.
Yes.
Where I worked and researched to try and find a way to get us home.
I assumed, because Nizo didn't believe me when...
I've got to be honest, Asavi. I thought I was losing my mind the first time you messaged me. I am getting older.
I know it must have been so strange. I had assumed they were experimenting on you too, Nisa.
I'd like to see them try.
And so, of course, I and my friends wanted to help. And on that day, the siege was supposed to be just a distraction. That's what we were told. That's what I thought everyone believed. But one of the leaders, the Shard King, you saw it. He showed up out of the sky with... You remember Tales of Tiamat?
Of course.
Those battles. From Father, you remember him telling us about those?
I do.
It was like it was her. This awful, terrible, terrifying, stitched together dragon with 5 heads. He came out of the sky and he slaughtered. That's not what we signed up for, and I thought that's what Whoosh hadn't signed up for either. So I don't know if we'll be... Well, I will be with the Freedom. At least not while he's at their head. Because there are things worth fighting for, but... You know.
Death is sadly a part of war, Asavi.
I understand that much. But to hear him, he gave this speech and it sounded like he didn't care about the Empire, the people of it, and seeing them rebuild. He just wanted to... I mean, it's so strange because it's like he said he did, but it was It scared me. I would not trust that man not to become a tyrant in his own right. I don't know. I don't know him. He just.
Sometimes it takes a strong wrecking ball to topple and destroy a strong foundation. You know our family. You know where we came from. You think mother and father weren't a wrecking ball for their gods?
I don't think they ever killed 500 people at once.
Not at once.
Or invoked the images of evil gods to invoke fear? I know it. I'm not ignorant that battles happen, that freedom costs lives, but that, I swear, it was something different. And and maybe the Freedom have a chance still, and maybe they won't follow him. I don't know.
I've seen terror, Asavi. I lived in it for more than 5 years. Zombies, skeletons, undead, vampires, tyrannical people who stood above others and stomped on them. I've seen evil, and I've seen what it takes to topple evil. Just because of a single show of force, a single show of brutality, doesn't mean someone's entirely lost. I've seen someone I considered a grandson gun down a number of people. I never gave up hope that I could help him. Neither did his companions, or his sister. Oppression and tyranny. Sometimes it has to be obliterated. I know we idolize our parents. And I know I might be the younger sibling, but I've lived longer than either one of you. I can say, my full heart and soul, that while perhaps it was overkill, someone like that could do more good than harm.
Maybe.
And on the topic of our parents, if you think they wouldn't follow someone like that, you're a fool. When the gods walked this mortal plane, they directed their instruments much like this person. I know it's not something you want to hear, but
It's still so strange to read about. the divergence.
It was incredibly strange. Appearing in a world where the gods just weren't here. They were just gone. Exiled. But it had to happen.
Hmm. So men like the Shard King could take their place? I don't know, it was just...
Difference between a god and a man is just that. One's a man and one's a god. Men can be influenced, their course altered. Maybe instead of running away from this, find a way to improve upon it. You're smart, you're brave, and you're powerful.
I have bigger fish to fry, I think. Just gonna reach into her bag and pull out the copy of the book that she made at the library. And hand it to Foster.
What's this?
This is an account of He Who Watches from Beyond the Stars.
That's a really long title.
It is. An elder evil.
That's quite blunt.
It's... I've been receiving visions and direct communication from Ayun. And all my friends saw this too. We were in her temple, an old temple in Wildemount. And we saw her in her library, the Endless Athenium. And the walls were ripped away, and she was struck, skewered with spears of starlight. Red starlight. And I've seen the red stars in the sky. If, she taps on the book, if he is watching, his eyes are trained on you, on this plane, and on my friend. And that's what I have to fight. Or guard against, or learn about. I don't know quite what to do yet. What I could do.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Please.
This elder evil, this ball of smuck, or whatever you called him.
The Lothamog, yes.
Sure. If he has his eyes on our plane, our world, And the man you just described to me sounds like an incredibly potent weapon for an elder evil. So maybe you, this whoosh, or your companions get their claws into that man, or something far more powerful does. And if he is watching your friend, then you need to be by their side and watch over them, and protect them, like how you protected us.
I've been meaning to do some research. I've got to figure out a way to It was awful. He's latched in because of that book. Not that. There was a tome we found, and she tried to learn more about it, and it's like a little homing beacon right to him. And from the things she said, it sounded like he was eating her memories. Gotta find a way to shield her head, her mind.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You are the best Curus, after all. Sister, I'm sitting right here. I said what I said, Nizo.
It never was. That's stupid.
Not at all. Castor and I used to count down the days until you'd return home. We used to ponder in our quiet moments what Isavi was doing. How she was. She was okay. Mother and father even set out a place at the table for you every night.
I'm sorry I didn't come home.
But you did. She gets up and walks over and gives you a hug. Despite what Nizo says, this is our home now. This is where we belong. I might have been sent here for a different reason than you two. And I think my time was well spent. Now you two need to figure out what your time is going to be spent on. Whether it's destroying Balith a cog or whatever, or convincing this potent king to not be so brutal, or to just be a seamstress until you are gray in the hair.
Yes, that sounds best. I'll go back and do that. I better call Lady Pym at the Golden Needle. Tell her I need my room back. Hmm. I'm sorry, that's not how it works.
You remind me so much of Mother.
Please. You're more like her than I ever was.
No. She couldn't stand me, let's be honest. Castor even less so.
You just keep bringing dogs into the house, of course.
They needed a place to rest, they were cold. They told me so.
Alright. I should try and call Father. At least we'd know.
At least we would know.
She looks at Niso. Yeah.
I don't see why not. Sure.
Alright. I'm gonna send a sending
Okay.
to Enar.
Alright.
Hello, Father. It's Savi. I'm sitting here with Vastra and Niso, and we're wondering if you made it to this time as well. Respond if able. And she says that out loud so they can hear us all.
Few moments go by. Few more moments. Now that's not a voice I thought I would never hear again. My dear daughter. And you just hear what can only be described as a man breaking down.
Holy shit! I didn't think he was gonna be alive, you guys!
Let's fucking go!
Fuck you too! Okay. Setting number 2. Same recipient. Arms. No trick. Took me forever to convince Niso. We were together in Whitestone on tal'dorei. Would like to find you. Shh.
You just hear in the first words, slight crack in the voice. Wasabi. It's been over a decade since I've been here. I made my way to the only place I knew about. Home.
He's here. She just turns to them. He's in Vesselheim.
Of course he is. Where else
Of
would he
course he
be?
is. Oh, he's in that temple like he always was. God, he's probably running the place. Oh my God, what if he's running the place? He says he's been here 10 years. God. I think you're older than Father.
I think you're right, actually.
Oh my goodness.
10 years.
He was. You are older than Father. Goodness. Well, shit. I didn't even dare to hope that.
Perhaps we wait until we see him in person to tell him about Mother.
Right.
That woman was his heart and his soul. 10 years he's been alone.
You can't just tell me to stop apologizing and then say that. Holy shit, Buster. What the fuck? No, no.
First of all, watch your language in my home, young lady. And secondly, stop apologizing.
Don't you dare backtalk to your sister.
I'll say the same to Father. I'm older than him now.
Oh. Jeez. Louise.
Vesselheim's quite a journey from here.
It is. It is. I guess I better call my friend and tell him I'm not coming. I'm kidding.
Oh my fucking god.
Phoenix and Hazel's face.
You should have saw my face. I just messaged Hazel going, turns out Savi leaves the party. This was a send off. And then she says,
Yeah,
I'm
as
gonna call.
I'm gonna go. I was like, are you
Wait.
serious?
I'm gonna have to come up with reasons why I meet up with you guys so soon. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Shit. That was unexpected. Not to break character. But I don't know what to do right now.
Yup.
It's already been an hour and 20 minutes. I feel bad.
No,
just
don't feel
opened the
bad.
door.
It's the Lane and Hazel show. Let's fucking go, baby.
Oh yeah, keep going.
Oh no. I know. I have to process.
Well, if there
Okay.
was anything else you wanted to do on your downtime?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, lots of swapping stories.
Of course.
The siblings. I guess now I gotta be in contact with Dad and see, like, what he's up to. And if he's cool to travel, I guess.
Yeah. If you do send him another message,
Oh, yeah. So messaging. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. The third message you send him, whatever it is you say, you just hear kind of almost breathless. He's just seems to be moving around a lot. You just hear, I'm making travel arrangements to Whitestone right now.
Of course he is.
However, that is, even by airship, a bit of a journey.
Definitely tell Vastra. And then either here in Whitestone, if I don't know what they would have available, any kind of library or knowledge base, if you'd want to do some research, or back in Amon, because how long was it from Amon to? Wait, where
It was like a week. I
It was a,
believe.
it was a week of travel on foot.
we could travel? So I'd have basically like 2 weeks in Whitestone, and then have to skedaddle, right?
Believe so, yeah.
Is there
Because
a
I can't come get you from Whitestone. Haha, JK, unless.
haha, JK,
Pretty
unless
cool wants to drop me off in Whitestone, but whatever.
and there's not a Cobalt Soul
There's
place
the Cobalt Reserve in
Western.
Western.
in Western.
Yeah.
How much of a detour would that be?
It would be on the way to Amon.
Okay. She'd probably give herself a couple days there if she can.
To do research
Oh.
on...
To do research on A, if they have anything on Belothamog more than what she already has, and B, mind shielding techniques and magic and stuff.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Kitten, excuse me, I have to roll. I would like to invoke the secret, please.
Of course.
It's kind of important. I don't mind Miss Ayul if I just
That is to me, but it's a 27.
Oh, 27. Sorry, let me unclick that. Sorry?
God damn, 27. Okay.
27. Ash.
You find the same set of books, written by the same, elf of yore, Calrith Arcanon. Unfortunately, don't find anything new. There isn't a good amount of research that anyone has put into the last remaining Elder Evil, because no one is suicidal enough to call his gaze upon themselves to get research on him, on it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Cool.
However,
yes.
you do a bit of research on shielding of the mind. Begin to look in, like, the abjuration school of magic, of protection. And you find some leads that kind of makes sense to you and kind of doesn't. You were never really an arcane person. But you take your notes, you write it all down, and you are given a limited access to the more important documents, given that you are an acolyte of the Cobalt Soul.
Cool.
takes a few hours for them to actually get into contact with Archivist Luciana, who's the name you drop. I'm assuming you don't drop Expositor Kilios.
No. Archivist Luciana is my homegirl. And I can't remember if I did before we all split. So just calm down. But I did, like, give her a check-in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be back here in a few weeks. Like, I'll come meet with you then. Sending.
Well, she's in Rexentrum, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, she's in
Luciana?
Zadash.
She's in Zadash.
Luciana? Oh, she's in Zadash.
Because
Okay.
didn't
Who's
she
the one
tell
in
Varin
Rexentrum with me,
that they
that
wanted
she wanted to meet?
you guys
Yeah.
wanted to meet because
I
they
figured
thought
I
I was
would've,
meeting
like,
with you
messaged
guys,
you.
but then I
Yeah.
didn't.
And you didn't, yeah.
So you got that information to Asabi, right?
I mean, I have a month. I'm sure I called her eventually and was like, hey, yo, your boss wants to talk to you.
Thank you. Okay, so then Asabi would have done that as well. Be like, thanks. Sorry, I thought I was gonna be there, but I wasn't. I'll be in town in a few weeks.
Okay.
But yeah,
You
no expositor prepared.
you find some useful information, mostly theorizing on trying to. A lot of it is theorizing on trying to block out influence from, like, the gods and
Right.
deific figures who have this partial omniscience on the prime material plane.
Yes.
But you feel that it's a good start, and in the hands of someone a little more arcane inclined, might lead to something.
Mm-hmm.
So you take those notes.
Very, very neat and tidy notes she takes. Yeah, that was kind of it. I assume Castor? Nizo stays in Whitestone.
No, he comes with you.
Really? He wasn't gonna wait for Dad? Shoot.
Unless you tell him
No,
to
he's gotta
stay.
go back to the Empire to go get back into his weird experiments.
He has to go back to being evil, remember?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think at some point she'd try to have a conversation with him. Because she probably would have just, like, operated under the assumption that he was going to stay there for a bit. She'd be like, oh, well, I have to go back, so I'm going to make arrangements to travel. Bye. And then, like, on the day, it was like, why are you also packing? So does he be like, yes, I'm coming to just hang out with you? Or is he going... Should bring it up, I guess. Where he planned on going. And ask.
Okay. As you ask that, he just kind of... You can tell it caught him by surprise, like he didn't really think about it. Well, You were so keen on finding me. And I don't want you to be traveling alone, so...
You didn't seem like you wanted to come play Revolutionary a few days ago.
Well, I don't, but
And that's not what we're doing. But...
your plan is to reconvene with your party in Zadash.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And you want to come with us?
to Zadash.
Did you spend all your time in that lab?
I
Or
did.
you didn't make any friends or anything?
Expected me to make friends with the weirdos who are experimenting on people against their will.
No, of course not. I expected you to kill them and stop them from doing what they were doing, if I'm being honest. But that's...
Reality
I
is
know.
often disappointing, isn't it?
I know. I'm not... I don't know. You're, mostly likable in general. I thought you obviously didn't just teleport into the lab when you first got there.
I was
You
found.
met someone you liked. By who?
By an archmage.
Blonde woman.
No.
Kind of scary. No?
The head honcho. Ludinus. Man's quite keen on time manipulation. At first, for a long time, they didn't believe my story. Eventually, they came around
Crazy.
and allowed me to research. And if I can be honest, I'm a little worried what they might think if they don't find my body amongst the dead in that villa.
So you plan to go back to them and continue. Too bad. I have all your stuff in my bag. It's mine. No!
You're being petty.
I don't have the bag.
You-
Alistair has the bag.
You don't have my stuff.
So you're coming to Stash? Excellent. It's in safe hands. He doesn't even know it's in the bag. It's fine. He's very responsible, and he wouldn't mess with it at all.
Which one
not
is this? Which companion is this?
The blonde man.
The crybaby. My research is with the crybaby.
It was a hard day. He goes through a lot. Okay? Got a lot on his plate.
We all have a lot on our plate.
Alistair has the bag. It'll be fine. If it's not dead animal parts, he doesn't care about it.
I want to ask you why you're so against going home.
I'm not against it. I will. There's a part of me that wants to go back home 10 years before that, before
I don't hold anything against you. It was an accident.
well, I do.
Oh, you shouldn't.
If we go back, if I wasn't brought here for a purpose, if it's not part of some great destiny and I'm the only one who can do this thing that has to be done, then I've hurt me for nothing. I've hurt you for nothing. I've hurt Vastra. I split up our parents for nothing. I almost killed you once. I couldn't live with that. That'd be even worse. I'm sorry. So if this isn't meant to happen, if this was a mistake, it was my mistake. And I don't know how I could live with that.
Then what's your plan? Your long-term goal? Kill an elder evil? Whatever that
Yes.
means?
Yes. I don't know if that's something I can do, or if that's something I'm meant to watch for, plan for, and pass off to someone else. But why is that such a bad plan? Why is that?
It's not. It's
Not
honorable.
a word to go?
That's your plan, then that's your plan. Stick to it.
I stick to my plans. Gosh, you sound like whoosh. No, you sound like whoosh and Alistair and Verin. You're all conspiring. I knew it.
Perhaps I sound like those people because we all care about you. You ever think of that? You idiot.
Mm. What? You're not going to try and convince me that it's a mistake and that I should help you to research how to get back? I can call Ayun right now. I can do that.
Do it.
And be like, yo, hello.
I don't know
Who's
what
Ayun?
I don't know what call means,
I
but
can't,
do
I
it.
can't actually do that. No.
No, come on. Show me. Asavi the Great and Powerful, call your god.
Fuck off. No, I meant. You're such an asshole. Fine. Fine. I will. She's gonna get out her tapestry there in the middle of the road and cast augury.
Okay.
In the course of action she's focusing on is the decision to just like punch her brother. Just right in the gut.
Yeah.
Funsies. Yeah.
As you're using your star chain as a divining tool, it immediately lands on wheel.
Ah. You see? She's told me to take this course of action,
What does that mean?
and good things will come of it. It means that I, Asavi, the great and powerful voice of Ayun among the people,